Welcome to the 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast, where a Gen X Radiohead fan father tries to convince his Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time by reacting to Radiohead songs one at a time, where he reacts for the first time and I react for the 100 millionth time. I think that number changes every time I say it. That's fine.
Yeah.
First off, right off the bat, happy birthday to Jacob. We just celebrated his birthday yesterday with some friends. We had a big party, had a DJ. Not much to go over. Just quickly want to say one thing. Still have people saying, you're not even letting them listen to the whole song. And so I just need to clarify one more time and a little bit more specifically, just so you know, that what we do is actually Jacob does listen to the whole song. And then we go back and edit and kind of put things together and break it up there. And then maybe even re-listen to certain parts just so we can get the editing and the flow right. We do it that way for YouTube purposes. Not because that's the best way to introduce somebody to music, but we do let him hear the whole song. That way he can react appropriately, and then very clever editing tricks you into thinking we're stopping it over and over and over again. Just so you know, I'm not abusing my son by saying, stop it here, or letting him stop it whenever he wants. But he does stop it when he wants, when we listen to it for the reaction purposes.
So we got them good with the editing.
Yeah, that's how good of an editor I am.
Yep.
Today's reaction is from 1997's OK Computer, Karma Police. I love Karma Police. There's no way for me to sit here and pretend like, okay, I'll not say anything until you react and then I'll react. No, I love Karma Police. It's a beautiful song. It's always been a beautiful song. The first time I listened to OK Computer, the day I brought this CD home, which was the first day it was available in the United States, I immediately latched on to this track. What do you know about Karma Police?
I've heard this song when you play in the car. To be honest, I think if it wasn't for Creep, this song I would have been hearing the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to it. Usually I'm on my phone listening to my own music, but I do hear this in the background a lot.
So you might hear this a lot more than you think you do also because when I had my kids do the drawings this time, my daughter was singing along and I said, where have you heard this song? She's like, you play this on the piano all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's a beautiful song. Yeah, let's not mess around. Let's hear Karma Police.
I mean, I know I might get people mad by saying it's a simple intro, but like, it's just a guitar and a piano, and it sounds great. I like the intro. I'm already like kind of getting nostalgic feelings for this because like every time we listen to this, we're going to Deer Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every Labor Day weekend we go to Deer Lake, which is in the middle of Washington somewhere, and we just listen to music, and this is a song that pops up every once in a while. And I like going to Deer Lake, so This gives me good nostalgic feelings.
Yep, just a little backpacking trip that we do with the kids. I would never know, oh, this song should remind you of Deer Lake. No, but I know that's what music does. You hear it at a certain point, and it reminds you of that. I remember my dad taking me to the first time I ever got on an airplane, and he said, you'll always remember this song the first day you got on an airplane. And he's right. It was Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers, and I absolutely think of that song. When I hear that song, I think of flying for the first time.
Karma police, arrest this man, toxin mouth. It buzzes like a French Hitler hairdo. It's making me feel ill, and we have crashed a party.
So, unlike other Radiohead songs, I understand what he's saying. It's probably just because I've listened to it multiple times, but like, I know the lyrics and I feel like I can sing along to this song really well. And singing to songs is something I like to do, and I seem to have a better connection with that song if I can sing to it.
I'm a little bit sad that you know this song as well as you do, because this is obviously a reaction channel. Every song I present, I think, okay, he doesn't know this song because I think he only knows Creep and High and Dry and Iron Lung. But the truth is, it sounds like you, and I knew that you would recognize a few more of them, but I was excited about, oh yeah, let's show him Karma Police, because it doesn't miss. And I apologize to viewers who are like, hey, he knows this song, come on, you're cheating. I don't know what songs he knows, and it turns out he knows this one really well. Yeah. The chord progression is complex enough that it has a lot of movement and has a lot of value to each, but each chord has a lot of value in the progression, but it is not terribly difficult either.
I also like the song because it's a good song. I'm not just judging it off of nostalgic feelings.
Oh yeah,
just so you know.
Yeah, because then that would be the letdown.
Yeah, that's from the same album, right?
It is.
It is. Okay.
He's learning.
This is what you get. This is what you get when you mess with us.
And then the chorus, he's like, it's just almost only him singing, but then you have that piano doing that nice little tune, and it's good. I like that.
Yep, everything else drops out. Kind of an unusual chorus, and in some cases, maybe even not the chorus. Maybe the actually just a verse, but a completely different style of verse. But it's certainly not your classic chorus. But once you know this song, you know that part, and you love Johnny's piano. He doesn't always play the piano, of course. Sometimes it is a Rhodes piano. There are times it's actually an analog synthesizer. Any keyboard he'll play. There you can find various live versions of him trying different keyboarded instruments for that. And in a couple instances where Tom York is actually on the piano.
I've given all I can, it's not enough. We're still on the payroll. This is what you get when you mess with love.
Looking at the lyrics, it goes like verse and then a huge chorus. Not even a chorus. I don't think there's really verses and choruses in this song.
Structure be danged. I've always enjoyed Ed O'Brien in live versions. He does that background that in here it is a reverbed vocal distortion. In live versions, Ed stands back from his microphone and sings through his hands. It's got a good distant quality to it. Tom York's vocals, especially during the verses, the Karma Police stuff, it's very vulnerable but very confident and a little bit irritated, and he does a good job with that without putting a ton of power behind his voice, but still nailing it. It's good.
So that part right there at the end, I don't know if it's just the part I remember the most, but that gives me the most nostalgic feelings. For a minute there, I lost myself. I'm trying not to base this off nostalgic feelings, but that's just how it is.
That's okay that you do it with that one. I know you have a story for the nostalgia. I think the tune and the words the words, people often say he's saying, for a minute there I lost myself. For a minute there, he's saying, phew. For a minute there I lost myself. Don't forget the few. Few as in phew. Phew, for a minute there I lost myself. That I remember 25 years ago listening to this song for the first time, and I remember that absolutely, and I'm going to get really weird here, speaking to my musical heart, going, oh my gosh, that is musically speaking to my soul. It's nostalgia, even if you don't have a nostalgic story attached to it. I immediately recognized it as good music, and I've heard this song hundreds of times, if not thousands, and I still look forward to Few for a Minute There I Lost Myself.
I'm not gonna say why and how I am feeling this way, but just like over the years, I've been more accepting of not super energetic songs. I'll give it a score now. It's a 9, and I think it's a 9. The only other song I gave a 9 is High and Dry, because I knew that song a lot, and I feel like for other Radiohead songs, if I have a connection with that song, then I would give it a better score. Or if I just listen to it more, I'll give it a better score.
I think that's what I hear, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to hear when you give this a 9 and say, I've heard it so many times. They're going to say, yep, see, when you've heard the song enough, you're going to appreciate more parts about it. Now, there's some songs we've heard you might not ever give a 9 to, but I think most people can hear that. Loving a song for nostalgic sake is perfectly fine. There's a ton of songs that do that for me, and in the right environment at the right time, it is almost a religious experience, outside of all the religious stuff that religious experiences are. But it is that moving. It can change your mood 100%. What music is so capable of doing, songs like Karma Police are able to show you a glimpse of that if you're not sure, and as you get to know it better, an absolute revelation of it. It's a funny song. There's some funny lyrics in it. The whole story of what Karma Police means, the band coming up with this kind of joke that anytime one of them did something that was kind of not cool or not approved of, they'd say, the Karma Police are going to come get you. And they said, hey, let's make a song out of the little saying we have called Karma Police. Sure, let's do it. Some older versions of Karma Police that you can hear on mini discs hacked, on the This Is What You'll Get, Tom York actually stays, he goes an octave up from where he's at. So he's much higher, and it's actually very pretty sounding. After you're so used to him sing it down here, it sounds a little strange, but it really worked. It really hit well. Very popular music video, very kind of strange music video. Every time I see Tom York sitting in the back of that old boat, it's a car, but it's a long, I forget, maybe a Town and Country or something like that. Just an old 70s car, grandpa car. And all I can see is as he's barely lip singing to his own song, and he looks like he's about ready to pass out, I just think, man, he must smell the fumes that car is putting off. But it's kind of it was a very popular video. Video's fine. Videos do a lot for a lot of people. For me, it's all the music, and as enjoyable as that video particularly is. And now they use Karma Police. They recognize what it is in their library. They use Karma Police regularly as part of their encore. So they'll often come out, even in the second encore, and start with Karma Police. They just know how much it means to people. It's a good song. Let's see what the kids thought. This is the boy's drawing. He has on the left there, the guy on the left is a police officer. He's holding the bag of money that he confiscated from the guy in the middle who's got the frowny face, who's clearly sad he's being arrested. The officer is saying, stop resisting. The person being arrested is saying, please stop. And then the other guy is the guy that he robbed the money from, who's happy that the police are intervening.
I couldn't help but notice that, where's the sun?
There's no sun. There's no moon. Sometimes an artist doesn't want you to know it's necessarily them.
Yeah, I guess.
And then her drawing, it's pretty easy. She went off of the, this is what you get when you mess with us. Don't mess with me. And that girl's walking away, and down at the very bottom it says, bad karma. She really got the don't mess with us. The real message of the song, it's really a song about rising up against middle management, against your office job. Yeah, I mean, there's an anti-capitalist type thread to some of the OK Computer stuff. And without getting political here, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know what a successful musician knows about rising up against the man in in middle management, in your middle management position in corporate America or wherever you might work. We all just live such different lives. It's always silly when someone who gets to plunk on a guitar for a living tells me what should bother me, whether it's something I agree with or not. I just okay. I'm much more into the music, and I do love the lyrics of the song, and I get where it's coming from. Just a couple comments I wanted to point out from the Burn the Witch video. Matuz Rabluski said, speaking specifically of Burn the Witch, the typical loud chorus is not as commonly found in Radiohead's post the Bends discography. In my opinion, it's for the better. The amount of tension they were able to build up in Burn the Witch without complying with this age-old convention is a good example why. I don't mind the age-old convention of build-up, but I think is exactly right. Those strings, the plucking of the strings, the grimness of the vocals, and the orchestrations underneath the plucking. We didn't talk a lot about all the other orchestration, but they're able to build that all up, as he says, with the tension, without that classic loud chorus. Perry Bernard II says, I love this song, but on my first listen, I was pretty much on the same side as the son. Nothing very remarkable. It definitely had to grow on me, and now I'm more on the dad's opinion. And you've talked about that already.
Yeah, I've been saying I recently listened to Burn the Witch so I can choose the next upcoming Imagine Dragons song. I've listened to it again. I'm like, oh yeah, it's better than I remember it being, and I might have given it a 7 instead of a 6 if I had the same feeling.
I, on the other hand, will say that I'm a loyal Radioheadist, and the first time I heard Burn the Witch, I knew it was good.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your comments. Please leave comments here so we can talk about them on the next reaction video that we do. We really enjoy doing these. We hope to be able to provide. We're going to release a lot this week. Happy birthday to Jacob. Make sure to let him know about it in the comments. We do read the comments. It's important to us. I mean, it's a small enough channel that we get a chance to just see what you guys are saying. Continue to tell us what Radiohead songs you want us to do. Next time we do OK Computer, what's the next song we should do off OK Computer? Let us know. I think I already know which one I want to do. But let us know, and we'll see if it sways my opinion. Continue to love one another, and keep listening to music together. You're now leaving
the 15th floor.